An Atlanta man freed from Taliban captivity in March is now talking about what it was really like to be held hostage in Afghanistan.
And what he is saying is something. He says for more than 2 years he was regularly beaten by his captors for refusing to denounce his Roman Catholic faith. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winne is here now with this Channel 2 Action News exclusive. And Mark, he says he was tortured because he wouldn't convert.
George Glesman says he is looking forward to dealing with health issues he suffered from in his time as a Taliban hostage and getting back to his job as a Delta aircraft maintenance technician at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. But even if it meant he could never come back to his life here, he would not renounce his faith while in captivity.
Were you physically abused over your refusal to abandon your faith?
Yes.
How often?
They would come as often as they could, you know, very often. They would come in and kick me or slap me or you know, yes, definitely.
George Glesman says frequently he refused to trade his faith for his freedom during the roughly 2 years and 4 months the Taliban wrongfully detained him in Kabul, Afghanistan.
I'm a Catholic, Roman Catholic, and the first thing that we human beings do when we feel in trouble is to pray to God.
Glesman says he faced near constant pressure by his captors to convert to Islam, not only in the form of physical abuse, ranging from beatings to buckets of cold water in the icy Afghan winter, but also with the promise of freedom.
They would come in and try to get me to convert. If you convert to Islam, we're going to release you in 2 days.
Glesman says he doesn't know if the Taliban would truly have released him if he converted. That several times his captors tantalized him by saying he was about to be freed, but those were false promises except at the very end of his captivity, when the Trump administration gained his release.
Sometimes the guards would hear noise in the room because I'm walking, and they would come in and open the door and see me praying, and they would be like, no, pray like this, don't pray like this.
Glesman says he wants to be very clear to his Muslim friends.
And I respect their faith, and they respect mine.
That he does not believe most who follow Islam agree with the approach taken towards him by the Taliban.
Yeah, they believe they're the true Muslims.
Glesman says he was a Delta Airlines mechanic with an anthropology degree who had visited 133 other countries to explore their cultures when he traveled by ground into Afghanistan from Pakistan and had begun to explore the streets of Kabul when he was taken by the Taliban.
They beat me, they dragged me to the side of the street, they cuffed me.
Glesman says he detested the beard he wore in a video shot near the second of his 3 Christmases in captivity, and his captors told him it would be a sin if they allowed him to cut it off, though he did months before his release. And at his low points, his physical and emotional health deteriorating, he wondered why God had not delivered him, such as when his cellmate, American Ryan Corbett, was released near the very end of the Biden administration, but he was left behind. But in the end, his prayers and those of his wife Alexandra were answered when Special Presidential Envoy Adam Boehler and a case officer embraced him.
They're like a kid when he gets lost in a crowd in a shopping center or something, and suddenly your father finds you and takes you up and hugs you, and you feel safe, you feel home again.
Your Father above never lost you.
That's correct. Yeah. My Father above.
He says he has forgiven his captors and in the process helped himself heal. Now, Glesman says his captors eventually allowed phone calls to his wife, which were critical to his survival, and medical visits. He says he will continue to travel at such an important part of his life, but he won't be going to any more dangerous places like Afghanistan.
I bet. And Mark, I had a chance to see him today when he was here with you, and he looks surprisingly well. Did he have a chance to tell you more about how they really pulled off this rescue?
So I talked to a guy named George Taylor who helped advocate for his case, and he indicated to me that the Trump administration got the Taliban to release him unconditionally, no prisoner swap.
Again, just to put yourself in Glesman's mind and in his heart and all that. It was the connection you guys had when you saw him at the airport. I'll never forget that piece of video.
Me either.
Yes, exactly. Mark, thank you for bringing us the story.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.